Could your vote be stolen this election? From buying votes with alcohol to forging signatures, voter fraud and election problems have been happening since George Washington's time. But is there anyone stopping it today? Joining me, Fox News correspondent and host of the special, Fox News reporting Stealing Your Vote, Eric Shawn, one of our great reporters and anchors. Tell us what's going on.
You know, it's unbelievable. I mean, you're talking about stuffing the ballot box, faking absentee ballots. It's happening around the country. Peter, there are new cases almost every single week somewhere, and this really affects our democracy. And let me give you a couple of examples.
Please.
Al Franken, Norm Coleman, 2008. Franken wins by 312 votes. Guess what? Felons voted illegally in that election. They're up to convictions about 175. They have 60 more to go. And there's a conservative watchdog group in Minnesota says they think more than 1,000 felons illegally voted. And there's a potential that they threw that race to Al Franken. Why is that important? Because Al Franken became the 60th filibuster-proof vote in the U.S. Senate. That affects history. Mike Freeman, who's the Democratic Hennepin County prosecutor, he says he doesn't think illegal felons that there were enough to throw the election to Franken, but they're getting convictions and counting. Look at Indiana. Allegedly forged presidential petitions put the president and Hillary Clinton on the ballot. The president may not have legally qualified for the primary ballot in 2008 in Indiana. There's a case going on there.
May not have actually qualified to be on the ballot.
Because you need 500 signatures per congressional district in Indiana. The Obama campaign submitted 534, but they say about 150 may be faked between Hillary and his petitions.
Incredible.
That's all being investigated. And this happens on both sides of the aisle.
What about Acorn?
Oh, man.
You were all over this, and you've been all over this issue. There's no one that knows more about election fraud than Eric Shawn. You've been reporting on it. What about Acorn?
Well, you know, Acorn, it was so fascinating. You call up the nice women who run the Board of Elections around the country, the grandmothers with the white hair, they would turn into Susie Essman. I mean, they turn into Tasmanian devils when you mention the word Acorn because of all the fraudulent signatures that the Acorn workers submitted. I sat down with Wade Rathke, the founder of Acorn, and asked him about this. Voter registration officials hated Acorn. I mean, they hated Acorn because they felt the group was conducting illegal activities with all these fake names.
It's too bad they were never able to prove any of that.
Wade Rathke is the founder of Acorn. Rathke ran the organization for 38 years, starting in 1970, and claims it got a bad rap for its voter registration drives.
You're talking to me about things after I left in 2008, but I think by law, in virtually every place, we're required to turn in everything.
But what do we do about all those faked voter registration names? I mean, thousands of them on these forms that were handed in by Acorn.
Well, they only really are a huge problem if somebody tried to vote with a fake form.
But we don't know if someone did.
Well, we're pretty sure that they didn't.
Well, dozens of Acorn workers were convicted, and Acorn itself pled guilty to a felony in Las Vegas.
And I know you're continuing to hear from viewers. They email you with tips, and they email you with information about this. How do people get to you?
Voter fraud at foxnews.com is our address. Voter fraud at foxnews.com. And our show, I mean, we go through it all today. Wait till you see this stuff. George Washington actually bribed voters and got votes with liquor, whiskey.
Wow, and we're going to hear more about that today at 3 and at 9 tonight. Fox News reporting, Stealing Your Vote, hosted by Eric Shawn. I'm going to watch it, hopefully at 9 tonight.
Yep, that's
and thank you so much for being here.
Great to be here this morning.
Great to see you.